One other thing I thought I'd show is the side stand for the CB750 that you see in front of you here. This is an aftermarket side stand. It's the one that came on the bike, and this little sucker gave me a lot of trouble. It was fractured here where this tab had been welded on. It wasn't a terribly well made unit, but this tab here had been compromised, so I had to re-weld that. And then it originally had a long extension because it had those kicked out front forks, if you recall. It came way out here because the front end had been lifted up. So someone had added a piece way out here, and I ground that off with the angle grinder. And then when I got it back on the bike, when it flipped up underneath, it kind of disappeared up underneath the exhaust system, so I had to fabricate this little bracket that you can catch with your foot when the side stand folds up underneath. The reason the aftermarket side stand was used is an original or OEM side stand, which I actually have. I got one just to do a test fit. Won't fit with the 4-in-2 aftermarket pipes that are on the bike, and the owner wants to preserve those. So I'm sure that's originally why this side stand was put on the bike, and I don't know what they did with the side stand disappearing up underneath the pipes. They might have just reached under their foot and hooked it and pulled it back, but that didn't work for me, so that's why I made this little extension here and welded it on. Then I bead blasted it, removed all the rust. It originally was chrome, but most of the chrome had flaked off, so what was left of the chrome I removed by grinding carefully, so I didn't remove too much of the base metal. Cleaned it up really well, and then I powder coated it. I have a little powder coat system here, an Eastwood powder coat system that I used, and it came out quite well. So I'm going to install that on the bike here in a moment, and then once it's finished I'll do a brief follow-up so you can see what it looks like installed. There's the finished side stand mounted on the bike. Looks like that. Fits nicely. The primary purpose of this metal bar I added here was really twofold. One, to act as a stop here against the exhaust pipe, and number two, you could use it and catch it with your foot when you want to put the stand down. I'm not going to do that right now because you can see I just took a piece of 1/4 inch inside diameter ID fuel line and pushed it up over the end just to finish this off a little bit. I used a little contact adhesive to secure it. I didn't want to use anything more aggressive than contact cement because it would make it too hard to remove it in the future, like something like super glue or epoxy would be a little bit too permanent. And this way it could be twisted off with a pair of pliers and needle nose if the owner doesn't want to leave that on, but I thought I just finished it off a bit. It also kind of protects the end of it from the shoe. You can also hook it with your foot like this and deploy the side stand like that. And it, despite it being a bit of a challenge, more than one might think, it worked out pretty good. Next step is to do a complete walk around of the bike. It's just about done. I'll call the owner here next couple of days and have them make arrangements to come pick it up. But we're closing in on finishing this project, and I thought I'd do a bit of a detailed walkthrough of everything that I did to it to finish the project.